Yo, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
They ain't ready. They ain't ready, Jim. They ain't ready. Here we go. I'm gonna go Hummer out here, guys. What is it? You ain't Mexican. What is that?
I missed you a little bit though, so I dig a little deep in there, right? But yeah, you did that. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Frisk Report. Tuesday night lives, bro. Tuesday night lives, Mike. We've got the biggest game of the year to kick off the NFL season on Thursday, Mike. How you feeling tonight, bro?
What's going on, you guys? I'm feeling fantastic, Joe. How you been? How you doing? How's the family and them?
We're doing good, man. We're ready for football season. We're geared up. We're ready. And we're going to talk about the Cowboys season. All right. So let's get to it. First of all, welcome everybody watching live around the world, the billions of people around this world. We can't have it any other way. We can't do this without you guys. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing, bro. So, Mike, the expectations, this is the basically the title of the video here is everything that has happened from all the way from the draft, mini camp, training camp, preseason, all the roster moves that the Cowboys have made. Have your expectations of this team changed for the 2025 season?
It changed a little bit, and here's what it changed. So initially, I had us going 12-5. Now I got us at about 9-8. I got us 9-8, but they can surprise me with a couple more wins and get to that 10-11 wins. Like that, I think that is more realistic for this team. 9, 10, 11 wins. I don't know if 12. If 12 is happening, that's crazy. But 9, 10, 11, I think that's more realistic. So, but getting Kenny Clark in here. This is the first Frisk report since the Micah trade. Getting Kenny Clark in here. We've been asking for that defender. And it might not be the sexiest defender, but I feel like it's the good enough defender. It ain't like he's really good, and he's been consistent the last 9 years. A toe injury last year kind of made his production look like boo-boo. But if you look at Kenny Clark as a whole, I think that's better than Tua. I think that's better than Mozzie. And I think that's going to be better for Osa. That's going to be better for a Nealon and a Dante Fowler. And this defense can really thrive on all 11 instead of focusing on one guy. And so, having said that, that's where I'm really viewing this team, Joe, is 9, 10, 11 wins.
Interesting indeed. When we did our prediction show, and this was back when we had Mike and everything, I had us going. What was it?
8 and 9.
8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9. I think for me, my range is probably. I think the bottom would be 6. So I'm going 6, 7, or 8 at the most. So that's my range, right? So I kind of have reduced a little bit as well. And we talk about the draft. I don't think the draft moved the needle whatsoever. But it's to be determined, right? We'll see what Booker looks like. And we'll see what Ezraku looks like. You know what I mean? The Cowboys, they really need to hit on these draft classes now, especially these early picks. All right. We already know that Siobhan Rebel is on a who knows when the hell he's going to play type of situation. Not even counting him in this season here. But yeah, we traded Micah for the picks. I like Kenny Clark, man. I think he's a solid player. You know what I mean? A good player under the Mike McCarthy regime there when he was there with the Packers. So a good player there defensively. Packers, they do a pretty good job drafting D linemen. So I like that we got him in the trade, right? But you take one thing away and you fix another area. It's the Cowboys way. You know what I mean? You fix one thing and another hole in the ship pops up. How many fingers do you have for all the holes in the ship? Not enough. All right. So we'll be taking in water. You know what I mean? I don't think we're gonna sink like the Titanic, but for his first year, I think it's gonna be an up and down kind of year. You know, it's gonna be win 2, lose 2, win 3, lose 3. This type of deal. I really do feel that. You know what I mean? Now, hopefully, I'll be surprised. If I get surprised, I would love that. You know what I mean? If we play at a high level and this whole culture business really does transform this locker room into a contender, I'll be all about it. I'll love it, man. But it's just a lot of off. There's a lot of distraction, bro. And that just comes with being a Cowboy here. Hollywood, Frisco, Texas is what we call it. And yeah, bro. That's my feeling on it, Mike. Everybody in the chat box, what is your feeling? What do you think the record is? Like, what do you have it as? Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat. I'm interested to see where you guys fall on this. Mike, following up on this, right? What does success look like? You know, let's take that route, right? What does success look like for the Cowboys 2025 team? You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I'm going to paint a story, Joe. I'm not just going to say they have to win regular season games. Oh, Quarter lost his mind. He's not thinking about Super Bowls. He has a losing mentality, right? I'm going to paint the story for you, okay? They have to have consistent regular season looks. You can't beat a team by 31 week, and you can't get shut out the next. I need to see some consistency, right? A loss is a loss. I get it. But it's how do you lose? How many penalties do you have? How many bonehead mistakes? How many times did you fumble? How many times did you throw an interception, right? That will determine that determines how bad you are. It's how many times do you turn the ball over, right? How many times are you getting the ball back to the offense? How many times is your special teams, how many times is Turpin going to score a play, right? A lot of that determines those wins and those losses for me. But a loss is still a loss. Don't get that twisted. So I need to see consistency in winning. I need to see consistency in physicality. I need to see Brian Schottenheimer. He's going to make the mistakes, but does he learn from the mistakes? There was a couple of plays, Joe, last year where it happened against the Eagles and it happened against the Commanders. It was an end around to CeeDee Lamb. Dorrance Armstrong was standing up at the end. They ran the play. Armstrong blew up CeeDee Lamb. Okay, play didn't work. We seen the exact same play 2 to 3 weeks later against the Eagles. Sweat is standing up right over there. The same look that the Commanders gave us. Here comes CeeDee Lamb with the handoff. They blew the same play up. I need them to identify stuff like that and not do it again. Like there was times and times again where McCarthy did not learn his lesson. So I need Schottenheimer. If you're going to screw up, I need you to learn from it. I need you to learn from tape. If that end is standing up, kill the play. Kill the play. Don't run the sweep to Lamb if you know it ain't going to work because you're seeing the same look. So when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at the learning tree of Schottenheimer. I need to, like when I think of success, the learning curve of Schottenheimer. How do you learn from your mistakes? So then I need consistency in winning. I need Schottenheimer to go for mistakes, and then I need to have a balanced offense in the playoffs. I can't have Dak throwing 66 times in the playoffs. I just can't have that. I need balanced football. I need a good running attack. I need a good running attack in the regular season too. Jennings just asked, what ratio do you think? I think it should be 55% or better. I don't care if Pickens is here. I need 55% running. The rest needs to be passing. So I need to see all that in the regular season, and then I need to see us closing out playoff games like we're supposed to. If I can see that, and I can see an NFC championship, and if I can see a Super Bowl, that to me is a winning expectation season, Joe. That's the painting that I just painted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder what everybody else thinks about it. All right. What does everybody in the chat box and comments think? What would you consider success being for this season? Is it Super Bowl or bust? I wish I could say that that's what's the case here, but I just don't see a Super Bowl in the future here for us this year anyway. So that's not mine. But that's always the goal, right? And conference championship, obviously that's there. I think that would definitely be success. We haven't been to conference championship since the 90s. It's unbelievable, but it is what it is. And we've already gone through the divisional rounds. We've seen the disasters there. So for me, success would be taking this team to another level. But is this season realistic in getting there to the conference championship? I don't see us getting there. You know what I mean? Playoffs. Whew, man, it's like it's like Coach said from the Colts, right? Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I really don't know if I can say that, I see playoffs in our future, Of course, obviously, I want it to be, but I don't want it to be one and done, bro, or just done. You know what I mean? We weren't even one and done, bro. It's like you're in the divisional round. You're just done. There was no one and then done. You were just done. You know what I mean? Like, give me some wins. All right, you little twats and the like.
Yeah. We need playoff wins. That's a fact, Joe.
You need the playoff wins, bro. No more done. All right, so yeah, man. All 32 teams have the same goal, right? So, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a Super Bowl ring, it's a failure. I firmly believe that it'll be a failure. But for this team where they're at right now, kind of like like juggling the roster, right? It seems like there's a lot of people. There seems like there's a lot of churning here with the Cowboys. And it's all these 1-year deals, right? That the Cowboys do during the offseason. There's no long-term cohesiveness, and I think it hurts the team. It hurts the locker room. I believe that. So success for me would be like the bar's kind of low for me this season, only because of it's first year Schottenheimer. I'm not the raw guy. It's like, oh yeah, we could do it, or the super homer that's out there, like thinking like, yeah, all this adversity and all this change, we can do it. I mean, I look at the coaches in our division. I look at coaches that have coached here before and how they handled winning and losing. And I think we'll find out, man. I think, and I don't think the first couple of weeks are going to be an indicator. I say give it 3. For me, it'll be 3 weeks. If I see garbage the first 3 weeks, that it's going to be bad. It's going to be an ugly season. If we beat the Eagles and we beat them decisively, I'm also not going to buy into that. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because we've seen these teams do this before, where we come out strong in the first opening game and then lay a bunch of eggs, and we're just like, what happened, bro? Pretenders, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good question, man. So I'm wondering what everybody thinks as well. Mike gave his answer there, is what success looks like. What does it look like for you guys out there? Is it a playoff appearance? Is it going 500, or not necessarily 500 because we're just a 17-game season now, but is it right there hovering like the Garrett era, 8 and 9, this type of bull crap, or playoffs? What is the level of success for you guys? Let me know in the comments, man.
All I know is I'm excited, Joe. Time's a ticking. Less than 48 hours. You know what's so crazy? The first quarter should be done at this time in 2 days. We will know what we look like. We will have our answer, Joe.
Yeah, man, and it's funny because without the running game, it really like you still have to have a running game in this NFL because once you get into the deficit, 13 or 14 points becomes an unsurmountable lead. You know what I mean? If you're the Cowboys, because then the defense is out there a long time. They start getting gassed. You know what I mean? Your starters are going to have rust. We see that all the time. That drives me crazy. That's why I wish the Cowboys would have the starters play at least a few series in the preseason. You know what I mean? But they refuse to do it. It's like something that they do now. They don't do it anymore. That went out the window. I don't know who came up with it. I don't know if it was COVID or Garrett. I don't know, man. It just seems like it completely disappeared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean Zeke declined and they haven't replaced him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we had 1,000 yards with Rico Dowdle last year. You know, and I mean that team was just hurt. Now this team's healthy, and I think I like Javonte Williams better than I do Zeke or Rico Dowdle. I think I like Jadon Blue better than Zeke or a Dowdle. I mean, so when I look at the running game, and then Zach Martin, as much as I love the guy, he just didn't look himself. He was getting beat early part of the year. He went to IR, and that was it. And then the running game got a little better. So when I look at Tyler Booker and the limited snaps that he played in the preseason, I look at that. And I'm putting a lot of chips on Connor Riley and Clayton Adams. I'm putting a lot of chips in. Can they fix Terrence Steele? Can they fix Tyler Guyton? That's the weak points, right? As Danny Savage would say. Shout out to Danny Savage. He, and I'm in agreement. The outside of the line it could be a disaster for Dak Prescott. The interior is the best, and so I'm putting a lot of chips in for Connor Riley and Clayton Adams show. But I as a whole, though, I think the last year versus this year, and then I think George Pickens is better. Will be better than Brandon Cooks. I really believe that. CeeDee Lamb still CeeDee Lamb. Can Jake Ferguson pick up where he left off 2 years ago? Because last year he didn't look very good, right? So I get it. There's a lot of what ifs and there's a lot of concern. Mm-hmm. But we need those guys that I mentioned to really pick up their weight. And they're very capable of doing it. I mean, one's a first-round draft pick. One had one good year who's a Mike McCarthy cat. The jury might be out on Steele. But we got Cornelius there. We got some other pieces there that can bench him if it really goes south. And same thing for Guyton. I think don't be surprised if Nathan Thomas is in there by week 4. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm wondering, and that's going to be the difference maker. Like how short of a leash are these guys on? Because last year it was ridiculous that they were rolling out Ezekiel Elliott for as many weeks as they did when Rico was the better player. He probably would have had way more than 1,000 yards. Honestly, he probably could have hit at least 13, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like he would have had a lot more yardage, and maybe the offense wouldn't have been so terrible. So this year, the same deal for me. If I'm seeing bull crap from Javonte Williams and somebody else is hitting the hole better or getting bigger gains, I want that dude to start getting the heavy load. You know what I mean? I don't want this experimental or stubbornness that these guys do. Oh, he's the vet. We paid him. No, the playmakers need to be out there, dude. And you said the same thing there with the tackle position. I think it's a short leash. It needs to be. You can't have Guyton out here being a liability, or Terrence Steele being a liability. If these guys aren't cutting it, next guy up, man. Let it be Nate Thomas. Let it be a Johnny Cornelius or somebody of that nature, man. You got to get a boost. You know, this can't be like the Garrett era. We saw it with Garrett too. I'll never forget it when they put in Chaz Green, bro. We all knew this guy was garbage, but for whatever reason, they were so stubborn. They let this guy start, and it was a complete disaster. I mean, it was, and it was with the one-armed bandit to top it off. I mean, the one-armed bandit had a record-setting sack game against us. It's just like, is it a front office decision, or does the coach, in fact, have a say in it? I feel like it's the front office, bro. Like, there's no way Garrett believed in that, dude. You know what I mean? I would hope not.
Garrett believed in the right kind of guys. I think Schottenheimer, what he has shown me over the course of this offseason is he likes competition. I mean, there's a lot of competition every day, whether that's who can warm up the best, or who can do this, or who can do there's competition in everything Schottenheimer has built so far with these Cowboys. I would be blown away if Schottenheimer doesn't, like, if Tyler Guyton looks like Mozzie Smith out there just on the opposite side of the ball, and he doesn't bench him, I would be mind blown, Joe. I really would. There's no way that's even possible. And I like that Schottenheimer said the 53-man roster is different from the game day roster. I like that he said that. He's basically told Mozzie Smith, you're not guaranteed to play on Sundays. You have to love that mindset. I respect that more of just saying, yeah, he's on the 53 and we're just gonna go ahead and start him. Like I respect that mindset of the 53 is different than the 46 and saying, here you go, Mozzie, go take the starting role. No, not anymore. I like how Schottenheimer's building this up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. This offense is going to be, I think it's going to live and die by this offensive line and the running game. You know, to me, I think it might be the same old. If they get stuffed, if the running game doesn't get going, it's going to be the aerial attack, and they're going to have to sling it, and that just isn't good. You know, when Dak has, you know, over 40 attempts or more, or what, you know, high attempt rates, you know, we usually lose those games. So we definitely, hopefully, we can have a balanced attack, keep the game close, and win it. You know what I mean? We're in it to win it, man. We're not here to lose. So we're tired of it. 30-year anniversary is coming up next year for the last appearance the Cowboys have been in the Super Bowl. So that anniversary is right around the corner, bro. And I mean, officially 30 years. That is the official date. So we can't have it, man. There's no time to wait. There's no, oh, it's early bull crap. You know, you always have the fan that's like, oh, it's early. Give him a chance. Stick this middle finger up there, and no, you can wait. You know, you can say that it's early, but I won't be a part of that, dude. Like, I am very hard on this team, this front office, because of the decisions that they make. And I'm not even talking about the Micah decision. I think in the end that'll be fine. I'm not mad about it or anything like this. I'm just like, you know, the coaches that they hire, the way they go about hiring the coaches. I mean, it's just been weird, bro. It's just been a weird process. And I hate to say it, bro, but ever since Jimmy left, the way they hire the head coach has been bizarre, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we saw it in the documentary, right? They hired Barry Switzer to be the replacement, who hadn't coached in like 5 years. Who does that, bro?
I think there's, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, and I'm not talking about Jimmy. I'm not talking about Switzer. I'm not talking about Chan Gailey. Maybe Parcells maybe fits into this. Jason definitely doesn't. But I feel like Schottenheimer is bringing something like accountability to this team from what I've seen early. You know, he's trying to get some type of culture in here. I know we always go to, well, the front office is the culture of Dallas. I think the front office is the front office, and I think the locker room is the locker room. The locker room is full of men, right? Men. And that is where it starts. It doesn't start. Jerry doesn't control the mindset of players. The coaches do, because the players don't see Jerry every day. The players see Schottenheimer every day. And it's how Schottenheimer and his coaching staff establishes that culture, right? And I think from what I'm seeing, and maybe it's just too early, Joe, but from what I'm seeing, I really feel like Schottenheimer is taking this to a level that we haven't seen maybe since Parcells.
No, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see, right? I mean, Parcells was a hard ass. I would probably say he's the opposite of a Schottenheimer, but that doesn't mean that he can't have success, right? Like we've seen players, coaches, and we talked about it before. A lot of the past Super Bowl winning coaches have been player coaches, right? There's only been a few that were the hard asses that actually won the Super Bowl, and a majority of those were from Belichick, when they had their dynasty run. But for the most part, if you look at it, player coaches, right? Like a McVay, right? These guys, I think Schottenheimer has a mix of that. He can have a little bit of the McVay, Garrett, a little bit. Like I need a good mix of accountability, like you said, and intelligence, man. You got to have intelligence, and that playbook needs to open up. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that they added some wrinkles into this, and it's not the same old crappy playbook that we've been running since '07. And but I get your point. Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying.
I wasn't comparing Schottenheimer to Bill Parcells. I'm saying he's bringing an edge that we haven't seen since Parcells.
Yeah, that kind of changed the different.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get what you're saying. So yeah, definitely in that aspect. Yeah, he definitely has. Right now, it's kind of been on. I wouldn't say on paper. I mean, we've been seeing it in minicamp and in the preseason, but now it is time. Now we will see it. The media and the fans, we are unrelenting. If this thing goes south quick, we will be throwing this coach under the bus and the front office as usual, right? So we want to win, and we want to win now. Mike, what is your feeling? And everybody in the chat box, where does this team fall in the NFC East realistically? Where do we stand between the other teams in the division?
When I look at history, right, there hasn't been a repeat winner in the NFC East since 2002 and 2003 when those nasty Eagles did it. There just hasn't been a repeat winner. And I think that continues. And I think the jury's out on a guy like Jaden Daniels. I think there's a lot more film on Jaden where you can actually scheme it and do. I mean, he took the lead by storm, almost like a Prescott type back in Prescott's rookie year. Didn't see that coming, right? Obviously, a higher draft pick, more potential, better execution, good coaching stuff over there in Dan Quinn and those guys. But I think it's going to be a lot more challenging for Jaden Daniels. I really believe that. Now, they do have a good running back, over there against the Commanders. Eagles, you got Saquon Barkley on the Madden cover. Does that Madden curse creep on him like it did for the 49ers running back?
It's a real thing, bro. It's real.
What's that 49ers running back? What the heck's his name?
Christian McCaffrey and
Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. I mean, there's a Madden curse there. I'm not wishing injury or anything like that. I'm just going off history, right?
It is real. It in fact is real. Now, there's the one-off where I think it was the Ravens or some crap like that. But for the most part, it's real. All right.
Yeah. And so when you take if you were to take Saquon away from the Eagles, they're a crappy team. They got a new offensive coordinator. They got five new pieces on defense. We really don't know what they're going to be about. We just know they got Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon. And we know they got a good offensive line. But what happens if you take a big piece out, right? It's a long season. Same thing with the Cowboys. We can all be hurt again and look like doo-doo and only have 7 wins. See what I'm saying? So realistically, when I boil this down, Joe, let's say everybody stayed healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cowboys come in third or second. I don't think they come in last. I think they're too good to be last. I would say it's probably a 10% they come in fourth, a 30% chance that they come in third, a 60% chance they go in second, and maybe a 40% chance they win the East. I think their second place is where I'm thinking.
Okay. No, everybody can have their opinions. I want to hear everybody in the chat box too. Where do you guys have the Cowboys? Mike, I have them third in the division. Myself, I just think that we, at the end of the day, we'll be better than the Giants. The Giants have been rolling with Brian Daboll for a while now. They've had talent. They've had first round talent. They haven't been able to hit on anything here. I think Jackson Dart looks like the future, but if you play him this year, you're going to have that kind of rookie campaign of the season. So, but yeah, I do see. I think the Washington Redskins will pass up the Eagles this season. I think the Eagles will fall to second place. But just from what I've seen from Quinn in his head coaching career, it's usually 3 years with this guy. He builds the team that second year, and then in that third year, it might even happen for them this year. But in that second or third year, they're knocking on the door, and then it falls off pretty quick for them. So Dan Quinn got about a 3-year window until they stop buying into what he's selling, right? He's one of those kinds of guys that he sells his gimmick or whatever the hell it is. They buy into it, but then it fades and then they fall off. So that's what happened to him in Atlanta. Kind of happened here with Dallas. Say as far as like, okay, time to move on or whatever. So yeah, man, I think the Cowboys will be in third. And I don't know if that's good enough for a wild card, but that's kind of matches what kind of the record I kind of have them at. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah. Second or third, I think, is realistic.
We have a super chat here from Pack Attack. Let's go, boys. September 28th. Pack versus the boys at Lambeau South.
He's a Packers fan. I appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, no, we do appreciate that. But that's going to be a big game, dude. So
we'll know who the Cowboys are. That's 3 games in. We'll know exactly. You said it, Joe. 3 games. We'll know exactly who the Cowboys are going against those Packers.
We'll know. Yeah, we will know. Just because of the history of this team, you tend to find out early. But there's always the ones that are like still holding out, like, oh, maybe something will happen. But no, dude, you just know that the way that this team is built, and just what happens, man. Like the mindset. I don't know what happens. They just they kind of just fall apart. It's always been a house of cards here, like I said, right? So. But that's gonna be a game of games, bro. You get Micah Parsons back coming in, and Kenny Clark's gonna get his opportunity as well to knock out Jordan Love, stop that running game. You know what I mean? So should be a good test, man. We'll see where we're at with our cornerbacks. Obviously, the Packers have a lot of weapons in wide receivers. It seemed like they drafted a ton of receivers this past draft. It's like every round it seemed like they were taking a receiver. So I think they're trying to find their answer offensively, to be honest. You know what I mean? Packers, they should be in contention, but that's a tough division, man. I expect Minnesota to be better. I think
McCarthy?
Yeah, I think JJ has been given the keys to a Ferrari. They have all kinds of weapons. They got a running game, passing game, tight ends.
Thielen's back.
He just got to run that offense, man. And I mean, if Sam Darnold can run that offense, JJ can run that offense. So I feel good about the Vikings improving. Detroit's gonna be physical. That's a tough division, man. So maybe we get lucky, bro. Maybe that damn pick ends up being something decent for us. You know what I mean? So, like you said, you never know how the season can shape up. Maybe something happens to them, and they end up having a top 10 pick, which means we get a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying?
Very interesting, Joe. I mean, it's a long season. We're not wishing injury on nobody. You know, we got hit with the injury plague last year. We know exactly what it feels like. CD's shoulder,
Yeah.
the knee cleanup on Brandon Cooks, Dak Prescott's hamstring off the bone. Like, we know what it's like to be hurt. And we felt that wrath last year.
It was a wrath, bro. Exactly how you said it, man. It was a wrath. It was crazy, dude. I had never seen it so banged up in my life.
Insane,
yeah. What's interesting is, are we going to see Trayvon Diggs? They're saying that he's making a big push to it, Mike. What do you think about that, bro? Too early, or is it going to happen?
Hey, same thing with Tyler Guyton. If you practice, you play.
Yep.
You know, if you're healthy enough to practice, you're healthy enough to play. I mean, that's just what it is, and that's what we've always seen since Garrett. If you just practice one day, you're playing.
And honestly, it could set a precedent for these players, man. If they see what Trayvon Diggs did, hey, man, I didn't recoup with you guys. I did my own outside, and I healed up stronger and better. We might see a future injuries of the other players do the same thing. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Because if it is, man, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be pretty interesting, a case study in itself. You know.
Yeah.
And
Brett Brown and Dr. Cooper, they're not good, bro.
They aren't, bro. They're not. They're like saboteurs, bro. And I'll die on the hill on that, dude.
Look at John Stevens Jr., bro. Was on the team last year, got hurt, and now he's not even on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that crap.
Yeah.
All because of Brett Brown and Dr. Cooper.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it says is what it is, bro. And then look at Siobhan Rebel, still banged up, bro. Oh, he'll be in camp and this and that. And he didn't sniff the field, bro. What a day it is to be the Cowboys fans. We're days away, Mike, and I can't wait for it, bro. I cannot wait for the season to start. You know, I want to see us. I just want a magical season, man. Just for once, you know. I've been waiting forever, bro. You know,
We've been waiting a long time, brother. Long time we've been waiting.
Yeah. But I think that's all we have tonight, guys. You know, we wanted to check the pulse of the Cowboys Nation, everybody in the chat box, everybody watching on the replay. You know, how do you feel this season will go? You know what I mean? Like, how do you measure success this season, knowing what you know? And that sort of thing. Mike, do you have anything else before we head out, bro?
No, man, look. We got a lot of doubts. We got a lot of wait and sees.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared of it. In 2 days, rep your team to the fullest. Pull out them jerseys. Put up the flags. Make that pregame food. What are you doing, Joe? What's your pregame food, Joe? What's your pregame?
Dude, I'm kind of feeling wings, bro.
Yep.
I'm feeling wings.
I think that's what we're gonna do too. We're gonna eat some eagle wings. All right. Opening up this week 1, but hey, let's go. All right. I'm here. I've been my mouth has wrote a check. And we're gonna see if we can get cashed. I got us beating the Eagles. All right. I got us beating them Birds. And we'll find out on the next episode of the Frisco Report. All right. How we did, and you'll get my true and honest evaluation. Stay tuned.
All right, man. I can't wait, bro. Just for all of it, man. Win or lose, let's see what the hell happens here, bros. But that's all we have tonight, guys. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you for the next one, guys. Peace out.
I was waiting for you to end it.